Okay, welcome happy stampers. This is Kate with Kate's Paper Creations, and I'm here to share with you another video and blog post. These are both, well, I'm just doing one today, a simple stamping card, so beautiful cards simply made. And this particular card I am using, well, I have one stamp for the sentiment, but everything else is made with the DSP called Blackberry Beauty Designer Series papers and the Blackberry Beauty ephemera pack. Get that up where you can see it. There you go. Has a lot of different things. It has two of each of these things in there. And the Blackberry Beauty Designer Series paper is absolutely gorgeous. You need to check it out. It's on page, let's see, what page is this? 45, page 45 of the mini catalog, the current mini catalog. And one side has foil accents. Oh, that's okay. Foil accents. And the other side has just a coordinating designs and colors. And it has polished pink, blackberry bliss, rich raspberry, early espresso, cinnamon cider, and gold in it. And I think it's some of my most favorite paper I've ever purchased from Stampin' Up. And I just couldn't resist making a card or two. You might see a future video as well, just using this card. One of the papers, let me get that so that you can see it. One of the papers has this lovely foil and espresso flower pattern. And I decided that it would just be awesome to cut a section of this and make a center on a card. And it has little foil accents there. I don't know if you can see them. I'll try and make them shimmer just a little bit in the light. There you go. And so let me show you how I made this card. Started with a rich raspberry base. This is 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And folded to make a side fold. Oh, I didn't want rich raspberry. I wanted some espresso. So let me get that. I prepared that kit ahead of time. And, oh, that's why. Okay. I know what I'm doing. There's nothing wrong with me. But I had the wrong kit in my hand. So let me put that kit aside and get out the correct one, and then I'll have the right paper. Okay, so this is still the card I'm going to be making, and this is the early espresso cardstock, 5.5 by 8.5. I haven't scored it. I'm just going to fold it and then bone fold it and burnish that edge, and it's going to make a side fold card like that. So that's my base. Then I cut this piece of the Designer Series paper, 3 1/4, I believe. Let me make sure, because I want to be perfectly perfect here. No, it is exactly 3 inches wide by 5 1/4 inches tall. So 3 by 5 1/4. So then I cut 2 pieces of the Designer Series paper that has the oak leaves and the gold accents, and I cut each of these 3/4 by 5 1/4. Okay, and I am going to attach them. Now on this card, I attached them behind like this, but I was actually thinking it would be even prettier on the front, but because of the way I measured everything out, it needs to go on the back. So I am going to just put some Stampin' Seal here. Down each side. So I have something to attach it to. And the idea was to leave a 1/2 inch. So let me get a piece of my grid paper here, and we'll use that to help position this. This is the grid paper for the Stamparatus. Comes in really handy when you don't want to have a great big piece of grid paper in front of you. And I'm going to place this on the grid and line it up. And then you can use the grid. Here's the 1/2 inch mark, you know, 1 square is 1/4 of an inch. So now I can take this and line it up here with the 1/4 inch, lay it down carefully, line it up at the top with the 1/4 inch, and press it. And there I have my piece, and it's an even 1/2 inch. Let's do that with the other side. And we'll just, again, just line it up with the grid, get it even here. My fingers don't work very well. My hand is still healing from being sprained really bad, and sometimes it just doesn't want to cooperate. I'm trying to work without my brace. Okay, and then again, just kind of hold it in place. There we go. And place this on the 1/2 inch mark here. And bring it up and place it on the 1/2 inch mark there. And there we go. There's our piece all ready to go onto the front of the card. Now that should end up being, see if I did it right. This should now be 4 inches, and it is by 5 1/4, 4 by 5 1/4. So now it will go on the front of the card flat with just Stampin' Seal adhesive. And it will leave that 1/8 inch border all the way around so that you get a little peek of that beautiful early espresso brown to frame it with. Let's do it this way. Get my 3 sides lined up. I think that's going to work. Just a little bit. I need it just a little bit more. This way I'm being particular. There we go. So there, and it leaves that 1/2 inch, or that 1/8 inch border there. Okay, then I took a piece of the frame from the ephemera pack. Had this, it punched out a piece. And I don't know if I have it in here. Let me see if I do. Yes, here we go. This punched out of this frame. Okay, and I kept the frame. I always keep the frames of things because you never know what you're going to be able to do with them. So then I did that, and then I attached this to a piece of basic white scrap. And I did that just using my 2-way glue pen. And I just ran a bead of glue all the way around here. And then I just lined it up with the corner and the edge to save some cutting and pressed it into place just like that. We'll give that a second to dry because I'm going to get out my early espresso, and I'm using the word hope because this goes for what I'm doing here this fall. This word is not, as far as I know, not in any of the current sets. I save sentiments, some of my favorite sentiments from discontinued sets, and I have them saved so that I can use them when I want to. And I'm sure that you have lots of different sentiments that you could use in this particular place. There's another one that I really like. My wrist isn't working. There we go. Now that's probably dried enough that I can cut this out now. And I am going to just cut out, you could cut out the whole thing and leave it just like this, you know, just the edges, and leave this in the middle. You could do that. Let's look at what that looks like before I cut away the rest. See, this is what happens when you start creating a card. Things kind of just grow on you. So here's how it would look if I didn't cut away the edges. But that's still pretty cool, but I don't like it that big. I like the smaller look. So I am going to cut out just the center part of this. So let's get my way around this. Today I am trying to use my monitor system that I got set up so that I can actually look up every once in a while and see and make sure I'm staying in frame. and that seems to be working quite well. And I attached it to my iPad with the lightning cable. When I attach that with the lightning cable, then my microphone doesn't work anymore. So then I tried using my Bluetooth Bose headphones, because they work as a speaker or a microphone, but that seemed to be kind of a muffled sound. So now I've invested in another microphone that is also Bluetooth, and it's just a dedicated microphone, and I'm trying that today. So you'll have to let me know if you think the volume is any good or not. Now I used the Fine Art ribbon. It's this beautiful gold ribbon here. And I also used one of the gold flowers from the ephemera pack, and I am going to cut this into 2 pieces like that. Then I'm going to still use my Zig 2-way glue pin. I'm also going to use some glue dots, and I am going to put down these flowers first, and I kind of lay this here so I can see where I'm going to put it. I'm putting this ribbon together with just a single glue dot right in the middle like this, and then laying it on top of each other so that I get that little bit of an angle that I want in it so that the ends separate. And then it's going to go on here like this, and then this is going to go on here like this with dimensionals. So that's about where I'm going to put that. I can go ahead and put that on, because with just a single glue dot in the center, and I'll just put it right there on my card and then stick that on there like that. There's my ribbon. Now I'm going to attach these, and to do that I'm just going to bring in some scrap paper, and I'm going to put some of my glue using my 2-way glue pin to stick it down. We'll get the tips of those little fronds or whatever you want to call them, and I think that'll be good enough. And we'll put this one underneath the ribbon, about right here like this, I think. And see how we like that. Oh yeah, that's looking very nicely. And then this one I think is going to just come right over here like this. So let's get that one glued up. So little by little I am getting my system kind of updated. I have over 300 videos up since I started doing this at the beginning of the pandemic. And I've just been using my iPad without a monitor and a corded microphone. And that's worked beautifully, and it was quite inexpensive to do. I already owned the iPad, so that wasn't a problem. And let me see, that would work. And then I want this underneath. There we go. There we go. Just like that. Okay. And then this gets some dimensionals on the back. Anyway, as I was saying, trying to upgrade just a little bit, because sometimes I didn't always keep things in the frame, and it was hard to see because my iPad is actually mounted up above my head here and pointing down at my work surface, and I can't see what it's doing. So I couldn't see if I was staying in the frame or not and all of that. And I really wanted to upgrade just a little bit if I'm going to keep doing this. So that's what I did. I'm going to put this at just a little bit of an angle. And there is the front of the card. Now I did the inside of the card as well. So this is a piece of basic white, and it has been cut 3.5 by 5 1/4, and I cut 2 more pieces of that designer series paper. This is a 1/2 inch wide by the 5 1/4. I am going to attach it to the back of the, let me show you here, to the back of the white piece with Stampin' Seal. Get it clear to the ends there. There we go. and it just leaves 1/4 of an inch. And actually, I'm just going to eyeball it. I don't feel like I need to measure. I think I can eyeball it just fine. There's side 1. Turn it around so it's easier to work with. And here's side 2. I think that'll work. So it creates this lovely bordered piece, carries over the paper to the inside of the card as well. And we will just put some more adhesive on this. And mount it inside, leaving that border all the way around. There we go. And so there's the inside of the card as well. Then I also took another part of that paper, and I think you've seen me do this before, so I'll just explain it. I take the flap and I run my adhesive on the flap itself all the way around. Then I lay the Designer Series paper on it. It's cut larger than the flap. And then I just cut it out to the edges of the flap, turn it over and do that. And that gets my flap covered as well. And so that gives it a more complete package. Now this is a craft envelope. I had these, get the right envelope. My kits were all stirred up. There we go. They're both the right ones now. I had these left over from a paper pumpkin kit from ages ago. I don't even remember when, and they needed to get used up. I have this thing about wanting to use things up. And so I thought the craft envelope worked well with these particular colors and card. So that's what I did. I pulled those out. Then I added the color on the flap, and that made my cards. So there is today's Simply Beautiful card. Beautiful cards simply made. Hashtag simple stamping. I hope you enjoyed today's video. Let me know if you think the volume is working with the new microphone, and we'll see how it goes. Bye for now.